Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the eSeniors GT3 World Championship. Here we are, of course, in the Group 2. And let me tell you, do we have an exciting race tonight, round 14. And of course, how couldn't I? I'm accompanied by Mr. Jonathan Wood. Good evening, Mr. Wood.
Hey, good evening. Well, it's good morning here, but yeah, good morning. Nice to be here. And we also have Luke in the booth with us too. Hey, Luke.
Yes, good evening from the Netherlands. Yay!
Go Netherlands. Wait a minute. Go UK. Go Lewis.
Go Max. Go Max.
Go Max. I agree. Go Max. Go Max. Go Max. But before we go into some more conversation, we want to go directly into the standings, of course. Here we have the provisional standings, as you have on your screens. It's Mr. Pocock leading the championship right now from Terry Trowbridge and Lee Ellis. These are provisional because there's one penalty still pending to be reviewed. But the very, very tight fight between the 5 first contenders, Pocock, Trowbridge, Ellis, Christopher, and Robas. So today is going to be a big one, gentlemen.
It's going to be a very big one. I mean, what we're doing here is we're mirroring F1, aren't we? We're right at the end of the championship, and everything's to play for. Brilliant.
Oh yeah, definitely. And talking about a little bit about F1, of course, we don't want to make any spoilers, but I think it's also looking like a great race tomorrow, doesn't it?
You know, we're not going to, dude, I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to avoid spoilers, I'm afraid, because we've got a really, really good talking point for the race when it comes to F1 and this morning's events. So any spoilers, I'm sorry, it is what it is. But I wouldn't spoil the race, but I'll just spoil qualifying for everyone. Haha.
Well, then give us a little bit of a preview. Let's see before you do so. We already have here the beard. It's still, my beard's still here, even though Ollie was saying some other things. Welcome, Mr. Sosa. It's a pleasure to have you here. Of course, Willie Owens, Mr. Dedoy, who's here in the booth with us. Peter David. It's awesome to have you all here, guys. And, okay. We came in a little early because we wanted to talk about some things, and one of the things that Mr. Bird mentioned was the F1. It was a very interesting qualifying session. I think we could have a couple of minutes to talk about it because it's looking great, especially for tomorrow.
Yeah, so let's do that. So look, if you don't want any spoilers, you folks in on YouTube, just turn it off. Mute us for the next like 2 or 3 minutes, and as soon as qualifying gets started, we'll have stopped talking about this. But it was just what was so amazing about the qualifying session was what Max did, because you know right at the end of the session in Q3 we had Lewis on P1, Bottas on P2, and they had finished their laps, and Max was starting his last lap, and his first 2 sectors, I mean, you know, it was just like a couple of tenths up, but you could see the speed. He was so over the limit, but it was so incredibly spectacular. And you know me, I love Formula One. I love the history of Formula One. And it reminded me of Senna in the early 90s and the 80s. I've never seen anything like this since then. It was so incredibly impressive. He looked like he was just on the edge of disaster. And unfortunately, the disaster happened at the last turn, and he just went a little bit too deep, and then he put his foot in, and he hit the wall, and obviously he got out of the car unscathed. He's fine and everything. He just smashed the wishbone in the right rear corner. But it was just so spectacular because this guy's speed was just immense, and it's the first time, literally, in over 30 years that I've seen anything quite like it. I mean, what do you think, Luke? I mean, he's your compatriot, and I know you're a Max fan, right?
Yes, I am. But yeah, it was exciting to see, of course, and I really wished him, that he could have beaten, that he could have taken the pole. But yeah, if you drive like that, accidents can happen. He went over the limit. He hit the wall, and now he's starting 3rd. If I'm not mistaken, if everything is okay so far with the car, and he doesn't get a penalty. So we'll see tomorrow what's gonna happen. It's a small track. It's a narrow track, and we can only wait.
Yeah, and here we go. So we got qualifying starting now.
Yeah, we're gonna jump right into action. So let's get right into it. There we go. All the cars getting ready to rock and roll for the next 20 minutes, and then the following 50 on the race. Oh, no point watching it now. That's Chris Bourne talking about the F1, I suppose. Welcome, Mr. Andalese. Pleasure to have you here. Welcome every single one of you to the stream. We're already 16 people. That is fantastic, guys. Of course, give us some likes, some follows. Let us know, what do you think of this amazing Group 2 race? Because let me tell you, it's going to be nothing but amazing. Yesterday we saw a very exciting but messy race. How is it going to turn out tonight? We will see. But we're going to go on board with Mr. Mark Pocock. Right now, he's the leader of the championship provisionally. And I think we should have a little bit of a track guide with him, shouldn't we, Mr. Wood? He's close to finishing that third sector, so you can take it.
That sounds good. Yeah, right now he's coming up to the bend that I can't actually pronounce. I think it's Liukop. And he's going down the hill. But this is a really, really great little track. I mean, I think we've all been enjoying this last week, and you know, we've been here a few times with these seniors before, both in pre-season and during the season. And I think, you know, most of us are pretty up to speed with it. We got up to speed pretty fast, and but this is it. This is what it comes down to. So he comes down into the final corner, which is Ingwe, and he comes down onto the straight, the home straight. He wellies it as he goes over the start-finish line to start his lap. That right-hand kink, which is imaginatively named the kink, before he goes and breaks around the 100-meter board, goes as deep as possible. There's a few lines that you can take here. I try and take the very inside line. He gets on the power into the Juxway sweep, the right-hander, before we go to the barbecue bend. Who knows why it's called barbecue, but this left-hander, it's got to really get on the power as early as humanly possible so that you can get a really, really good speed down the straight here before you go to the right-hander at Sunset. Not my favorite corner for sure. He's in third gear. He's got back on the power before he goes onto the clubhouse bend, this left-hander. In second gear, once again, an early application of the throttle is going to get him a much better lap time before he goes into the left and right of the S's here. You can't really see it, but some of those curbs, if you really get on them, they're going to bounce you out into the barriers. He's got a clean exit there before he comes up here into the left-hander, this hairpin again at Leocop. Now this one, if he's in first gear, he wants to do a short shift to second gear so that he can really get the power down and get a launch down the hill. This is called mine shaft. And in a GT3 car, this left-hander is completely flat out before he goes into the crocodiles, which is a right-hander. It's a very late apex to get really hard on the power. In the first lap, if you go on the very inside, you're guaranteed to get some space, some places. This is the right-hander at Cheetah. And you can see he hit that little sausage curb and it threw him off. And now we're in that left-hander to get back on the straight. And that right-hander at Cheetah, if you hit that curb, I think we've all done it. We've hit that sausage curb and we've all crashed there. And these guys have got to do that every single lap and stay off that curb.
Well, that has been fantastic from all the drivers. Here we have Andrew Ambro. He's going to put his lap time. That is going to be P4. Very good lap from the South African. There you have him. Evening, Mr. Pitbits. Of course, Reese Wigan as well. Laszlo Nemeth. Pleasure to have you here as well. And as you said, very tricky last set of corners. We saw Pocock going too hard on the curb. Right now, the man leading the board is Mr. Mark Christopher with a 43.4, beating the fastest lap time from Group 3 yesterday already. And I think we might see ourselves on 42s. We'll have to wait a little longer to see. But for now, we're going to go with someone that is very dear to my heart. And look at that, he's just in front. Mr. Oli Lindener. He did a 44.2. Let's see what he can do this time around as he heads into the second sector. I predict 42.4 for the pole. Do you think we're going to go that low on the 42s, Mr. Wood?
No, not a hope. There's no bloody way we're going to get that deep in the 42s. I think if we break into the 42s, like a very high, maybe a 42.9, we'd be lucky.
Yeah, we'll have to see. And for now, only doing a very good lap, improving by a couple of tenths. And Mr. Luke, tell us a little bit about the track, because I'm sure you know it yourself. What do you think of the track? What do you think we're going to see the most action?
Oh man, you're asking me something about a track that I did yesterday. I
Yes,
saw
sir.
too much action myself. I hate that yellow sausage on the right, just before you go to the straight there. It's a if you hit that thing, it's over.
Basically, yeah.
But there was somebody going off that I saw. Anyway, I think the first corner is gonna give some action, and I hope it's not gonna be so terrible as last night's race. So let's hope everything goes well.
Yeah, let's hope so. And right now, the closest time for the 42 is Christopher again on the lead with a 43.007. There you have it, Mr. James Bond. He's still improving by 5/10. We're going to go directly with him because we might see those 42s pop up, and that 42.4 could be a big reality. Do you think Christopher can get to those limits? You said no, but we're already seeing people improve a lot from those very low 43s, Mr. Wood. It seems like the track is completely optimal.
Yeah, mate, I might have to eat my words here. Either that or everyone has just like hit their mark straight away. But you know, Mark Christopher, he's a quarter of a second up here, and as he goes into Cheetah, gets back on the power, brakes at the 50-meter board into this final corner. He's got the curb, he's got on the gas real early, he's got a really good launch. He actually gained a little bit of time there, so this is going to be a 42.7.
Very good lap from Christopher. Let's see if someone can beat that time. But that was a very good lap indeed. We're going to go now with Melvin Garland. Where is Daniel? Daniel Britos is not here with us tonight. 42.8 possible for Lexus. That's what they're telling us in the chat. And something I want to point out is that, you know, we've seen each race throughout the week here in Kyalami. Of course, we saw yesterday and everything that happened there, which can only be described as, you know how, pandemonium. But one thing is for sure, entertainment is not going to be missed, because good lord, we're going to have a fun one. And talking about fun, excitement, productivity, and perfection, we're going to have to go back with Mr. Christopher, because look at what he has in the car, Mr. Wood.
What does he have? He has furry dice hanging from the rearview mirror. What does he have?
Do you know what he has, mister? You have something in the sides and in the front. Of course, it's PWS cleaning equipment, ladies and gentlemen. The best cleaning equipment in all of Britain. If you want to check their products, please head into preciouswashers.co.uk. You can check all of the products, as Christopher is going to go off the track to show us how the cleaning equipment works on gravel. Very good, you can see. He's going to go back into the pits. Unfortunately, he's going to lose the car. But it doesn't look like anyone is getting not even close to that 42.7. He has been the only man to break the 42 barrier. Mr. Trowbridge with a 43 dead. Very good lap as well. Here we have Ulf Tholen. Wow. 43.4 for the German. Good lord, that BMW is working wonders.
Yeah, and Peter LaFrance also, he's in P3 right now. He's only 4/10 off. And it's still early days. We're only halfway through qualifying, and everyone, they've had like maybe 2 or 3 laps. So there's a long way to go yet. I think we're going to see some big improvements. Also, Mark Pocock, he's 6/10 off right now, and you can expect to see some improvement from him as well.
Definitely. Here we have Bruce Hopkins. Lovely to see him here as well. PWS is really happy to help support this great league. Thank you very much. Of course, thank you to everyone supporting the eSeniors. Of course, they are our main sponsor. So thank you very much, PWS. Thank you very much, every single one of you fans, for watching us live tonight. And now, Hopkins with a little bit of a drifty is going to go into the grass. He's going to board the lap and go back into the pits. It seems like yesterday. Sorry?
Yeah, and I think we need some PWS furry dice to hand out to all of the eSeniors. What do you think? That would be a great little sponsor's gift here.
I agree. What can I say? I completely agree, Mr. Wood. We need to have I think we would. I would love to bring Mr. Christopher some time on the box with us, because he can give us some more information too. You know, I think it will be fantastic to have him here on board with us sometime in the chat. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're always open to interviews, even from the fans themselves. If you want to come and say something that can give us some good pointers on the race or whatever you want to say, just let us know. We can drag you here, because at the end, we're all a family. Look at the back of the car of Linener. CJJ, unfortunately, Mr. Arrobas is not going to race.
Mark is now in P2. He's less than 2/10 behind Mark Christopher. So we have a double Mark front row.
Yep. Look at that. The second man to break the 42 barrier by just a tiny bit. But do you think Poga can get there? Because we've seen he's very fast on that first sector, but he's not being able to get those 2/10.
You know, anyone in the top 6 here can get out of the first corner in first place. We've seen carnage all week long, and I can attest to the fact that even if you're on the inside or the outside of those front 3 rows, you can gain places if you get a good start and stay out of trouble.
Definitely. Don't mention me, and I might just sneak through. Mr. Jamaica Frank Tenen, of course, we know him. He's a specialist on start, you know. Every time we see him start a race, he gets 5, 6. We saw him even get 10 position at once. So this man is someone we're going to have to look forward to.
I know what his secret is. He told me what his secret is. So Frank, he shuts his eyes.
I just commits, right? Full send, just go through. That is lovely. And here we are right now with Richard Kyalami, P17 for the Ferrari. You can see most of the BMWs, actually all of the BMWs on the top of the standings, ahead of top 10, who's being taken by Steve Howells. Let's see if he can get a better lap. Columba is going to post another one, just 1/10 faster. We have some people in the pits. 7 minutes remaining. We're going to go now with the man we just mentioned, Steve Howells. He's right now heading into the last sector. That right-hander, very tricky to know when to go into the power. That now everyone knows. Oh no, Mr. Wood. You opened the secret.
Well, you know, I let the cat out of the bag, didn't I?
Let's see, Howells with a good exit from the Ferrari. He's going to be able to improve by 1/10, maybe P8. Yeah, P7 for Steve Howells. You can see from P10 to P7, very, very tight. Just 1/10 of a second between all of them. Ben Shaya with a very good performance so far in qualifying P6. And the other man who's leading the board for the BMW side is Peter LaFrance, who dropped to P4 after Mark Pocock put himself on P2. Do you think LaFrance can get back into those podium positions?
He can. This is anyone's, right? Look at the top 10. Top 10 positions is less than 0.8 of a second. That's incredible.
Yeah, and top 20, 2 seconds. Like that is insane. Like very, very close times between all of the drivers, and that is amazing to see. Good luck to Big Game James Park, aka Big Natty. We wish him a lot of luck, Mr. Parks. We're looking forward to see what you can do. And LaFrance right now improved by a couple tenths. That will put him on P3 at least. Let's see if he can finish the job and maybe get that P2. That would be fantastic for the Canadian.
Steve Hauser's on a good lap. He's lost a little bit of time. He's just coming up to Cheetah right now, and he's 0.3 of a second up, which would bring him up to the second row. See what he can do here. He's coming up to the last corner. Gonna brake real deep. See if he can get a really good exit here. Yeah, he's got a decent exit. 1/4 of a second, so that should bring him up to P5 or P4. Yeah,
P5. There you have it. Wow, so close between the top 5, 4/10 of a second between all of the gentlemen. Now, France again with a very good first sector. You can see 2/10 up already, and that will be already enough to claim P2. So let's see if he can get that time he lost on the third one to fight. Ooh, it's a little too hard on that curve. He's gonna go off the track. Hello, Nikos, and LaFrance is gonna have to abort. Howells is still improving. Another couple of tenths there.
He is.
Look at that.
0.3 up right now, and the last lap he lost some time right at the very top of the hill. Let's see what he can do here. Because this, if he gains another 1/10 of a second, which he's gained another 1/10 of a second, this could be a pole lap. No, he's lost it now, but you can see where he's gaining and losing time, can't you? He has the potential to be on pole position, and this is the guy in P5 right now, which means that pretty much anyone here, you know, in the top 6 at least, has the potential for pole.
Definitely. Howell still improving by a couple tenths. Let's see if he can do his fastest third sector of the evening. Really good braking zone there. Same for the exit. That is very good. That's another 10th on the board. Now we go into this really tricky right-hander. He lost some time indeed, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to improve too much. Still very good exit, but a little too wide.
Yeah, he lost it.
We're going to have to move with Trowbridge. Trowbridge is improved by 4/10 of a second. That will be an easy pole position, just as I say it. He doesn't get the best exit possible. Let's see if he can finish the job. Ooh, drifting through it. Beautiful from Trowbridge. Can he save the time still? Oh, he's gonna lose it on the last corner. Very unfortunate, because he could have taken that pole position. And that's just gonna change the ways. He's gonna have to go for another one. So we're gonna jump back to Hopkins. 34.
The other guy here who I'm watching who has potential is Peter LaFrance. I mean, he's 4/10 off, but I mean, he's got traffic now, which really sucks. But just in the first sector, you know, he has that 4/10 potential. So what he needs to do right now is actually make some space for himself, because otherwise it's impossible for him to improve. And then he's gone off.
Right. We're sticking right now with Hopkins. That is a good exit. Fastest up was a 44.1. Is that gonna put him on P12 at least? It is P12 for Bruce Hopkins right now. The only man on the top 5 improvement is Mark Christopher. You can see there. He has the fastest third sector. It's the first and the second one where he's a little slower, and we've seen him improve on time. Right now, he's a 10th up. Let's see if he can keep this ball rolling. For now, it's looking real good to secure that top spot on the grid. Welcome everyone to the stream, Mr. Hjort. Press that like button. 35 people. Jesus Christ, I didn't even notice about that. Mr. Wood, 37. Wow.
That's awesome.
Have we ever seen those numbers on a live stream this early? Jesus.
I don't know. Let's see on the chat. So in the chat, where's everyone actually watching from? I want to know where you're from.
That is very good. Let us know, ladies and gentlemen. Chat is open. You can say whatever you want. Please, with respect. We don't want anything blue on the chat. Mr. Christopher has dropped a little bit of time just behind. Look at him. A smart Pocock with an invalidated lap. He's not going to be able to do too much. We already see some people from the UK. Texas, of course. Mr. Hjort. Craig Holmes is watching from his armchair. That is great. Some Dutch people. Amazing to see. Canada. That is awesome. That is awesome, Mr. Wood. Well,
yeah, we are an international series. This is fantastic.
You are damn right. Christopher's going to go for another shot. This is going to be his last possible lap. We're going to go now with Trowbridge again. 2/10 up. We've seen him through these two first sectors, he has been pretty quick. Is he going to be able to finish the job? He only needs 3 tenths to make it to the top. That looks like a good line from Trowbridge. A little slow, but he's still holding to that 10th. Let's see if he can break a little later this time around. The qualifying has ended, so it all comes down to this. Mr. Trowbridge has one chance of making it happen. He just dropped that 10th that he had up.
We also have, Mark Christopher. He's on his fast lap, and right on his tail is Mark Pocock. So, and these are the two guys vying for the pole position. So this is interesting. This is just like F1. They've timed this absolutely right.
Pocock is going to go into the pit lane. Trowbridge has just unfortunately gone off the track. The commentator's curse just hit. So that implies we got ourselves a pole sitter in Mark Christopher, the British man from the PWSC Sports team. Incredible lap, 42.7. The fastest man on that third sector. Of course, the fastest overall. Trowbridge, of course, tried. It was on a very good lap. That this is going to be it for the qualifying. Christopher, with a lap of honor, is going to take that lead. As we go into the race session, the Aston Martin working incredibly well for the British man is going to go off the track. And here we go. Great time, Mr. Wood.
Yeah, man. So that's a great story as well. You know, our pole sitter is our PWS car, which is absolutely fantastic. I love that result for Mark Christopher. So congrats to him.
Oh yeah, and you damn right now we're gonna do a little bit of our grid walk. Huh? You know you love it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Christopher taking that pole position. Just side by side with him is going to be Mark Pocock. Then we have Mr. Trowbridge and Peter LaFrance, P3, P4, respectively. Then Steve Howells and Oli Linder, P5, P6. Then just behind Michelle Benchaya and Uwe Tholen, both BMWs, Goddard and Berger to finish off the top 10. Here we go now into Paul Moore and Mike Dearlove. Very good position from Dearlove. Hopkins and Ellis, P13, P14. Ambro and Columba. Then we have Jack Jacobs and Mervyn Garland. And finally, Mr. Jamaica and Mr. James Sparks to finish off the grid because Mr. Robas won't be able to compete tonight. So all the cars are getting those setups ready to rock and roll for the next 50 minutes. Mr. Wood, what is it going to happen?
Oh, man, I don't know. I mean, these two guys are just as quick as one another. I mean, actually, I would say the top three, they are very, very tenacious. They're very, very quick. Anything can happen at the first turn. And then, you've got Peter LaFrance, Steve Howes, and Ollie, and Michelle. And pretty much the whole top 10, and they're all there waiting to pick up the pieces. Anything can happen. The top 10 separated by what was it, 0.8 of a second? Mm-hmm. So this is really anyone's race. The first corner is going to be very exciting. What do you think, Luke?
Oh, you're talking to me.
Yeah. Are you ready? Are you sipping your coffee?
Are you
eating your dinner? Is it dinner time in Holland?
No. I've already had my dinner. It's what time is it? It's almost 8:30. No, I was also thinking, the first three, of course, that's obvious. Mr. LaFrance, Mr. Howell, yeah, but that first corner, guys, anything can happen. And there are a few more corners where stuff can happen. Who knows?
Well, sorry for what happened. My microphone just fell off. I don't know what happened there. But gentlemen, we are going to go. Start your engines.
We haven't done that. You know what? We haven't done that yet. This is something that we need to do. It's like, right before the start. It's, gentlemen, start your engines.
Okay. I'm going to give you the privilege for the next week. I like it. I love the idea, Mr. Wood. But now the engines are ready, and we're going to go rock and roll. go in just a few seconds. Let's see. It's going to be Mark Christopher setting the pace. Being the first man, we saw yesterday that P2 got the best out of the start and conquered P1 after turn 1 on the kink. Let's see if this time is going to be different. Pocock and Christopher going at it. Christopher is going to go through the finish line in just a few moments. The green lights are coming in a few seconds, and here we go. That is a green, and that is a great start from Terry Trowbridge. He might go for the inside. We're going to have a 3 wide, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Trowbridge looking for the inside. He's going to have to drop it. But Pocock seems to have a very good line. He might have the move done. Trowbridge very close to Peter LaFrance. And for now, it looks like Christopher is going to be able to defend a beautiful defense from the current leader. That is amazing to see. Very close. Oh, contact between that BMW and Terry Trowbridge. It looks like the rest are still alive. We just saw that live.
And more on a straight.
Yeah. You can see, oh my God almighty, what just happened there? 3 wide didn't end up in good conditions. That is Peter LaFrance already at the back of the grid.
No, calm down, people. Come
on. The nerves are getting in. You can see already another car out of the track there. Look at that big pack of people. Good Lord. Everyone's getting real tight to each other. There you have a fight here for P10. It's getting real spicy already. We just started. Here we have another car out of the track. You can see that, if I'm not mistaken, is James Sparks out on the grass. Good Lord almighty. A lot of action. 10 as always. We always say this man with the stars is insane. P11 is going to make the move on the outside. Here we go. 10 is going to make it no problem. Beautiful move from Mr. Jamaica himself. Wow, what a start, Mr. Wood. We need to go quickly with Mark Pocock, who's getting real close to Mark Christopher. And here they go. Let's see what happens now.
Yeah, man, that was just a crazy first few corners. Thankfully, though, in our top 4 is Mark Christopher, Mark Pocock, Steve Howes, and Terry Trowbridge. And here we have Mark. He's dived down the inside into turn 1, but Mark Christopher has got a better exit. Wow. He did the over-under. That was perfectly executed by Mark Christopher, and really great respect from Mark Pocock as well. This is going to be a race-long battle, and you know Mark Pocock, they're now side by side down the back straight here.
Yeah. Look at that. Side by side. Pocock has to move down for now. He's going to leave the space. He's respecting Mr. Christopher very well. That's what we like, ladies and gentlemen. Clean racing. Beautiful from these two gentlemen. You can see Christopher was looking for the outer side on this right-hander. Here we go now through the second left-hander. And very good speed. We're going to drop now into P11 because this is where the heat is coming from. Very big fights on the back. We're going to go now with Michel Benchaya. There you have him. He's fighting for P6, and just behind him, there is Rainer Berger. Let's see if the German can finally put himself on the top of the grid. We miss him there because it's been a while. Benchaya for now looking very good. Bruce Hopkins with an incredible start. P6, my God almighty. Benchaya really getting close. He's going to keep it safe. He's going to look for the better exit. Both of them missed the apex by quite a bit. So we're going to go now with the man who dropped the most positions for now. That is Peter LaFrance. He started P4, and now look at where he is. P17, 44-1 for Mr. Pocock. Already some gaps opening. And LaFrance really needs to make a comeback drive after that unfortunate incident between himself and Terry Trowbridge. Mr. Wood, we already seen some gaps.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Peter, yeah, he got drop kicked by Terry Trowbridge. Obviously, you know, it's all unintentional, but you know, Terry he either outbraked himself just a little bit, or Peter maybe he braked a little bit earlier than Terry had anticipated. But either way, you know, he got hit from behind, and now he's got it all to do. But you know, we've got our top 5. Let's see our top 4, which are pretty close, and then 5th to 8th are real close as well, and Frank is like going like a bat out of hell. It's brilliant.
Oh yeah. And we're seeing a lot of fights throughout the whole track. We're starting to see a little bit of a gap opening between the top 5, as you've mentioned before. But here we have Nico saying, can we have a close camera of Mr. Dearlove? We can do so right now. There you have him. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Ay, ay, ay. That, ay, ay, ay. The dog must be enjoying it. Huh?
Nikos, who else should we go get a close-up of? And maybe they'll fall off the circuit as well.
Do you want to go with Mr. Pocock?
No.
Ay, 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 ay. The dog must be enjoying this like a baby on a candy store. Ain't you, sir?
I'm saying nothing, guys. I'm saying nothing.
We're gonna go. We're seeing right now Michel Benchaya on track. He's getting real close to Bruce Hopkins, but I want to focus on the man that we mentioned before. Is Peter LaFrance. Is really struggling to find pace, getting blocked from what we presume would be traffic for him because the pace difference is big. But unfortunately, that BMW is suffering from damage. Let's see if LaFrance is going to commit to the move on the inside. No problem at all. There you have it. It's done. No issues at all. We're going to go now with Lee Ellis, who's going through turn 3. Beautiful 5-man fight. Ay, 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 ay. Dearlove making a mistake side by side. Ellis is going to make the move. No problem at all. And here we go. Move done. No issues. And looking forward for the next one, who's going to be Andrew Ambro, who's doing fantastically well so far. P10. It seems pretty comfortable with the Porsche. Dearlove. Dearlove out. Ay, Señor del Dios bendito. Dearlove. You can see how slow he's going. He's going to move out of the way. And unfortunately for him, he's going to drop to the absolute back. We're going to check on the man. Just 2 positions ahead is Jaime Goddard, who's fighting with Ulf Tholen. We saw Goddard before having a little bit of an issue going off the track in this exact sector. Let's see if he can make a good comeback drive. He started 9th, and now he finds himself on 18th. So another big race that he has in front of him. It's going to be pretty fun if he likes overtaking people. So let's see if he can manage it. We're going to go with the lead now because Pocock is still a second ahead from Mark Christopher. Very good fight so far, but it seems like Christopher is closing down. Mr. Wood.
Yeah, I think, everyone will have watched all of the races and participated in them also this week. And, I think the bottom line here is that your top 5 are patient. You can't overdo it. Like yesterday's race, Stefan Buckley, you saw that he was faster than Kenneth Lindholm for most of the race, but he couldn't get past. But he executed the most amazing patience before close to the end. He finally got by, and then that was it. And I think that's what Mark Christopher is going to have to do right here.
Definitely. We're going to have to go now with LaFrance, already P14. He's fighting with Melvin Garland. It doesn't look like he's going to wait too long. You can see he was showing the nose. This man is on a mission. He's going to make the move on the inside. Very close between both drivers, but at the end, LaFrance with another position. What a comeback drive so far. Already 6 positions won, and he's still on the hunt because he's starting to catch Paul Moore, who's right now fighting with Lee Ellis, as well as Andrew Ambro, as we said. These 3 gentlemen doing pretty well so far. Then we have Benchaya, still very close to Bruce Hopkins, who's defending like a lion, as my good compatriot Mr. Alonso would say. And guys, I want to ask you something. We've only been here for 10 minutes. It looked like everyone is pushing their asses out with the pace. We have a little bit of a mistake from Lee Ellis. He's going to be able to make it back. No issues at all. Pomore has overtaken him. But I think we need to focus now on how hard these gentlemen are pushing the tires. We have a yellow flag on track. James Sparks. That's got to hurt on the back of the car. Is he going to pit it? He's completely still. But as I wanted to say, these gentlemen are already pushing these tires to the absolute limit. What's going to happen at the end?
That's a good question. I mean, once again, it's about their patience and not overdoing it. And you know, if you're really pushing hard, you're going to wear those tires out. You're going to heat them up. You're going to be sliding all over the place. And I think, you know, Kenneth. I was talking to Kenneth last night, and he said that, you know, he did overheat his tires really early, and he was getting understeer. That's why he was struggling so much. And on the flip side, you know, Stefan was like really chilling out and keeping his tires nice and cool. And you know, and he had to pace the whole race. So it's all about, you know, not doing it all in the first few laps. You've got to spread it out over the course of the entire race. It's a 50-minute race, isn't it?
I completely agree, and I want to mention something, but before, we're going to see Berger going for a move on Bruce Hopkins. Side-by-side action, here we go. Through this very slow right-hander, Berger still keeping it side-by-side. But it's going to be Hopkins defending it very, very well. We're going to check it out here because we have a side-by-side contact, and behind as well, Ambro. Ambro and Moore coming into contact. The guys behind, same thing. This 5-man fight for P12 is getting a little messy. Let's see, because that is a very good exit from Jaime Goddard. Maybe he has a shot to make the move on turn 1. Here we go. The slipstream helping as much as he can. Is Garland going to commit to it? He's showing the nose on the inside. He's going to break a little later. He has to spray. No. Ooh, a little too hard on the curb, and it nearly could have cost him everything. And
yeah, you saw him, and he just jinked sideways to make sure he didn't hit him.
And we need to move quickly, yeah? We need to move quickly to P4 because look at Trowbridge. After that incident, he's coming back to Steve Howells. And I wanted to mention that as well. These gentlemen are already 7 seconds behind from the pack on the lead, which would be both marks. So, Jesus, look at the pace difference.
Yeah, it's pretty stark, isn't it? It's crazy. This is going to be this is a really spicy little battle because we know how tenacious Terry Trowbridge is, and you know he's going to want to get by Steve Howells as quickly as possible to get back up to the battle for the lead. And I mean, I'm predicting that he'll either get by him or we're going to have some fireworks.
Mr. Dudoik, we're seeing people a little impatient at times. Do you think it's going to get like yesterday? Because I'm really seeing people pushing their limit.
It's already like yesterday.
Well,
yeah.
Okay.
We've seen so much action already, so it's just like yesterday. But yeah, the things happen, you know. People are maybe anxious or they just want to overtake, and things happen.
No, that's a very clear argument from you, mister, and it's lovely to hear. Look at Peter LaFrance. He's trying the inside. He's going to play it safe. Still side by side with Paul Moore. Is he going to be able to make the move? Very close between both drivers. At the end, that BMW looks like he has the upper hand. Still side by side. But at the end, LaFrance with another key move, getting rid of some traffic. Now finds himself with Andrew Ambro just ahead, and then he will have a little bit of clean air to put his pace to the absolute limits. But we're going to have to go back with Trowbridge because look at how close these two gentlemen are racing. Howells and Trowbridge going at it. Incredible so far. Howells with a very good start, getting out of trouble. That is helping him massively, and here we go. Another lap that is heading. You can see Trowbridge trying to brake a little later, but it's not working. Very good race we're having so far, huh?
Yeah, you can see Terry is now, he's trying to use a little bit of racecraft here to take some different lines and get out of those corners a little bit quicker as he's gone really deep into the final turn here. I know he's got the pace down the straight, but now, you know, but Steve also got a really, really good exit. Let's see what he can do going down into turn 1. I don't think he's close enough, but just, you know, we go and do another lap, and he's sitting in exactly the right place. Is Terry. You know, he's not too close, but he's close enough though that when Steve looks in his mirrors, he's got that big purple monster behind him, and it's more likely that he's going to make an error and that Terry can just slip by.
Ooh, look at that move from Jamaica. Mr. Tennant. Very good move. He has it on the pocket. Beautiful move on turn 1. And that is P7. Benshaya now on the hunt of Oli Lindener. 8/10ths of a second. Here you have the back of Mr. Lindener. I'm sure Michelle won't be very happy about the message on the back of the car of Mr. Lindener. You can see it right there. See you, Jeremy. Right now, we're going to change it to J for an M. But a very good fight between these two gentlemen. Very good to see Benshaya this high on the grid. Let's see if he can hold it until the end. Because he's getting real close.
Yeah, you know, where did Frank start? Where did he qualify?
Mr. Tennant qualified 19th. He's P7.
He started 19th. He's in P7. I think he's having a laugh with us, really. I think he starts at the back just to have a little bit of fun so he can get through the field. And, you know, and he would have been laughing at that first lap because, I mean, there were cars just spinning all over the place and crashing into each other. He must have gained at least like 6 or 7 places just by other cars smashing into one another.
Definitely. Here we have Ambro and more has finally made the move. This 6-man fight has been fantastic. We're going to move just forward to check on Rainer Berger, who might have a shot at Bruce Hopkins. We saw Hopkins staying on P6 for a while. Unfortunately, now it's starting to drop. And maybe it's time for him to fight with the German. Let's see. For now, it's more than a second away. So, not too much of a hurry. Look at that 5-man fight. Beautiful to see Ellis trying to get the best out of Andrew Ambro. That is a good traction from the exit, but Garland is getting real close. There you have it. Ooh, a little slow on that entry for Mr. Ambro. Ooh, a little bit of a slide for Ellis, and just behind as well. That was Goddard losing the car a tiny bit. A lot of action so far, ladies and gentlemen. Frank was dead last together with James Parks. And look at him now. P7, no problem at all. Talking about the man. He is trying to come back. He's going to go into the pit. He's not going to go into the pit lane. He's going to stay out. Mr. Parks, unfortunately, not having the best of races. He's really struggling this time around. Is Frank Tennant wearing the Reggae Boys livery? You can see it yourself. He, one way or another, it doesn't matter what he wears. This man is on a mission. Liel is down fighting with Garland and Ambro in front. Look at this, gentlemen. Mr. Ellis has a good run. Let's see. Can he make it happen? Or is it going to be Garland stealing the pocket? And there you have it.
He's stolen that place from him.
Side by side action. Good lord. Nearly came to contact. That was a millimeter away. Oh my god. This 5-man on the last corner. Side by side. At the end, it looks like it's going to be Garland with a better exit. God almighty.
And we know we missed it, but Terry Trowbridge was alongside Steve Howes going up into that top left-hander at the top of the circuit. But now he's dropped back a little bit. But this is really spicy all over the track here.
Ooh, look at that side-by-side action. Goddard and Jacobs. Goddard has this or not. He's going to slide, spin, and hit Jacobs on the way. But Jacobs, fortunately, could save the car. Ooh, that was a little too early on the power. That means that Goddard is going to be really behind now. We're going to go just in front with Columba, Ellis, and Garland. Garland is doing fantastically well. And let's see, because it's also starting to catch Mr. Ambro. We also need to talk about LaFrance, already P10. This man has been doing really, really well.
Man, I don't know where to look because look, Mark Pocock has now lost a lot of time.
Yep.
And Mark Christopher is less than half a second behind him, so he's now challenging for the lead. And then you've got the battle for third place, and then the battle for fifth. And then this mid-grid battle with 6 or 7 cars. It's brilliant.
Yeah, action all over the place. And I want to ask something to Mr. Dedoy. Mister,
Ask.
we saw you. We saw you yesterday here, and I'm sure it wasn't easy to deal with everything that happened. Oh, I need to stop you for a second. Trowbridge making a mistake. Wow, that's a good save, because that could have ended horribly wrong. Well, I'm not going to ask you anymore, because we got Mark Christopher again on that tail on Mark Pocock. I was going to ask you about the fight between Trowbridge and Howells, but unfortunately, it has succumbed very quickly. But I want to ask you something else. Who do you think is managing the tires the best out of the top two?
I would say it's Mark Christopher at this point.
Yeah, I want to say yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Luke?
I think Mark will manage his tires the best. But yeah, whatever we say, we see different things happening. So I don't want to curse his tires.
I know you can expect his wheels to fall off right now, right? I mean, the commentator discussed. I want to actually go to something that Nikos has said in the chat. He said that his liveries do matter, that they're very aerodynamic and they shave off at least half a second. They're like the skin of a dolphin. So Nikos, I mean, I'll ask you: do you think that go faster stripes legitimately make your cars go faster? And like, how many go faster stripes is too many?
Well, I'm going to offer another question, and I'm going to put Mr. Margaritas on the spot. Mr. Nikos, you know we all love you. Why don't you come into the box sometime and give us a little bit of explanation of that lovely argument you just posted there? Garland just made the movement on, bro. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a 3 wide into the last quarter. Oh, my God. Oh, no. It ended in contact. Ambro and Garland at the end. Very unfortunate. That was a little dangerous to go 3 wide in there. Didn't work out for the Britishman as well from the South African. And as I wanted to say, Mr. Nikos, we would love to have you here on box to, to explain us a little bit. How are you doing, and why? Explain us, how do you do this wonderful liveries you do?
Yes, Nikos, you gotta come into the commentary booth.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah, I agree too, definitely.
I've tried many times, gentlemen. You cannot say that we haven't tried, because stripes are like stickers. They give 10 HPA each.
I need some more go faster stripes then, damn.
Yeah, look at that.
I mean, the other question... Oh, he's trying to go down the inside. The other question is about dirty cars, right? So whenever I clean my car, I swear to God that it drives better. Right, it seems to drive much smoother. Is that true, or is it just my imagination?
Well, I think you have a point in there, to be honest with you.
Well, that's the extra weight you take off the car, of course.
Yeah.
Ah, I see. Okay.
I was gonna say something, but I can't, so we're gonna leave. We're gonna leave it there.
You just think I'm nuts, don't you?
I wasn't gonna say anything about that, but I do think that.
I'm clearly knucking fuck.
You are amazing, Mr. Wood. Only with PWS cleaning gear, please. Give this man a round of applause. You gotta love it. Thank you very much for that hookup. That was beautiful, Mr. Hjort. That was fantastic. Christopher getting closer again to Mark Pocock. The fight is still on. And you can see Christopher is just easy to get in the toe. That's what you call a good plug, eh? I love it, eh? You gotta love it. That's a very good exit from Mr. Christopher. He's getting real close now. What would you say is the best thing for Christopher in this situation? Would you rather overtake Pocock already, or would you stay behind and just let the man have the pressure and succumb to it, because he has to force those tires to hold the man behind?
I think it looks like he has the speed. So I mean, if this was me right now, I would just stay as close to him as possible. I'd be jinking left and right in his mirrors to try to get him to make that mistake. And if that does, I know he's going to dive down the inside at the first turn. They're going to be side by side, and it's going to be a drag race going down into the first corner. This is brilliant.
Can you believe it? Side-by-side action. We go through the finish line. And here we go through turn 1. The turns half table, or are they? Because right now it looks like Poker is a little ahead. Who's going to break the later? Who's going to get the better traction? You can see Christopher doesn't want any of it. He's going to keep behind. This man is playing it smart. He doesn't need to make the move. He just needs to force Pocock to make another big mistake. He has already done so once. Let's see if he can make it twice. Good job from both. Ooh, very close. Columba and Ellis. Yes, here we go. The commentary curse strikes.
Yeah, that main one. That was really interesting, though, wasn't it? So I want to know what both of you guys as drivers, what would you have done there? Because if that had been me and I was on the inside like Mark Christopher was, so they were side by side, I'd have just sent it, and that would have been my decisive moment. What would you guys have done? Because he backed off.
Oi, wait a second, gentlemen. I will hear your answer in a second, Mr. The Dog, but we have a yellow flag because that was Rainer Berger. Spinning out, let's see what happened. Here we see him go through turn 1, no problem. Look at that. Paul Moore.
Yeah, he did a little Max Verstappen there.
Oi, that's a little bit of a spoiler. You gotta love it.
Is that good or bad?
Ooh, a little bit of Supermax. Yeah, that was a little bit of Supermax. Ooh, big shunt on the front of the car. We need to jump directly with Frank Tennos getting close to Mishaya. But the dog, Mr. The Dog, what do you think? I think it's a very good question from Mr. Wood.
We're talking about the overtaking of between Mr. Pocock and Mr. Christopher.
Christopher. Yeah, because Mark Christopher, he had won that corner. He was on the inside. I would have just sent it. What would you have done?
I would have kept my car next to Mark's car. Yeah, Mr. Pocock's car. Yeah.
For me, I would have done what Mr. Christopher did. I think it's a smarter decision. Because at the end, you're getting a tow. You're putting the pressure back into Pocock, letting him by. And you're saving those tires for the end, where you can put the bigger push. I think it's a very good strategy. We'll see if it's going to pay out. We still have 23 minutes remaining. So a long way.
Yeah, and I'm with Mr. Christopher's car now, and it looks like his tires are starting to go a bit.
You mean Mr. Pocock's or Mr. Christopher's?
Mr. Christopher's car.
Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna check that in a second. Let's go with Mr. Christopher, because maybe he was the one pushing and we didn't even notice. But for now, the gap below the second stays between these two gentlemen. Pocock with the fastest lap of the race so far. Exactly one. How are the lap times on P1 and P2? You're gonna see them right now on screen. Between 43s and 44s. Last lap, of course, was a little slower due to that overtaking maneuver. So that is the reason why. Let's see now. That is a very good exit from Mark Christopher again. I'm sure he's going to be looking forward to putting the pressure. We have a yellow flag. Lee Ellis. What happened to Mr. Ellis? Let's see. A little too hard on the curb. Went into the grass. Oh, jeez. That's gotta hurt.
What a mess. Damn. Yeah,
Oh.
that's a big wreck.
That is a big wreck indeed. And look at the man, Mr. 10 and 12 positions ahead. And he's looking for another one because that is a very good exit. And maybe he's going to have a shot at Michelle Venchaya. Or is it? Because Venchaya is also chasing Ole Lindener, who's also doing a great race. P5. Good Lord, isn't that great to see? The Aussie doing fantastically well. Venchaya is looking for the big inside line, but he's not going to find it. And he's in jeopardy now, because now it's 10 with the better exit. Is he going to try the outside line? It looks like he won't. He's going to keep it safe. Lindener still leading this three-man pack. Ellis has gone into the pit lane after that big shunt on the front of the car. And, gentlemen, 21 minutes remaining. It looks like things are starting to calm down. And I'm sure to say this, we're going to have a big crash. Hopefully not. But these three men that we're seeing on the screen right now, they're doing fantastically well as the car in front. Mr. Trowbridge still behind Howells. Howells has done fantastically well so far. He started 5th, moved to 3rd, and he's defending like a lion, as we've said before. This man, you cannot say anything about him. No mistakes so far.
Yeah, you know, I think that these guys, they've all been watching what's been happening in the last couple of days, especially yesterday's race, and they're just being really, really careful.
Yeah. Ooh, Trowbridge a little bit on the grass. We're going to go back with Oop Tholen. There you have that BMW. You can see the front of the car is not very happy. A little bit of a nudge. What a fun race. Great job in the commentary booth. Thank you very much, Mr. Hjort. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much to every single one of you that are watching. 31 viewers. My God. I think we're beating the record of maximum viewers because we had 41 for 1 second, which was amazing. So thank you very much to every single one of you. I think it's a perfect moment to thank PWS as well. Because look at Dear Love. Ay, ay, ay. He's going to make the move to the inside. He is. Beautiful move. See, you talk about PWS. Beautiful things happen on track and on real life because they're going to be really, really clean. Berger with a stop and go penalty. And we're going to go back into the fight for P6.
Was Mr. Berger speeding in the pit?
Indeed. Mr. Berger with a little bit of a mistake after that big incident on turn 3. Very aggressive there from Frank Tennant. The fight still is on. And again, I want to focus on Howells because seriously, this man has been defending for 40 minutes, close to it. We have a yellow. Where is that?
Mr. Berger, he went off track and he put the car into the pits.
Oh, well, I think that is going to be a retirement, isn't it? I think that
sure looks like it.
Might look like it. We're going to go now with Peter Lafrance. We talked about him at the beginning. He was involved in an incident between himself and Terry Trowbridge. He's already P9. And Hopkins, a little too early on the power. That wasn't a curse. That was a miracle. And Christopher, look at him. Very, very close now to Pocock. Maybe it's the time to hit the hammer. You love hammer time, don't you, Mr. Wood?
Heck yeah, no, he's definitely put the hammer down now, and he's having another go at him. So I think this time he's going to get by. I mean, he's got so much more speed. I think actually Mark Pocock might be having some issues with his tires.
Yeah, a little too much of pushing. What do you think, Mr. Dedoy?
I think you're jinxing the guy, so stop talking about him.
Hey, we're commentators. It's what we do.
Yeah, it's our job. Oh, look at that exit from Mr. Christopher. Is he going to commit to it? He seems like it's not just yet. Hammer the wood. Hammer the wood. Ooh, a little bit.
He's very reluctant. He's very reluctant to send it. He really is. He's. I mean, look, this is great respect between these two drivers, and this is what we like to see, right? And I think that's one of the topics of conversation that we had yesterday, and that we can continue having today, especially after 24 hours after the shenanigans yesterday. We've seen more shenanigans today, which are basically the same kind of story, right? The lack of respect for somebody wanting to occupy the same piece of tarmac, especially on lap 1, where that happened today. And I don't know about you guys. I mean, what do you think is the best way to fix this?
I think Jeremy should speak to us more strongly.
Yeah, I think a more strict.
Because if he would see this, he would be very upset.
Well, okay, so let's think about that. So we already have the directive that you cause a major accident on lap 1, you're going to get either a 5 or a 10 place penalty. So today, right, we have this issue. It was lap 1, and you had a lot of wrecks, and yeah, it could pretty much destroyed Peter Lafrance's race. He's back to 8th place, right? But Terry Trowbridge, he hit him, and he pretty much, I would say, he wrecked his race, and that's going to be a 5 or 10 place penalty. I'm not a steward. I'm just a pundit. I'm not an admin. I'm just a pundit. That's just me talking. It was an accident, but it had consequences, right? So I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but I think to improve things that we need to be more social with one another. I mean, that is my fix. This is not a public server. We're here to be social and to enjoy our racing. And if we're not being social with one another, we may as well be racing against AI, right? So let's all be a little bit more friendly. Let's all get into Discord and enjoy this.
I'm gonna have to cut
there-
you
and
off.
there's Terry right
Trowbridge.
there.
Oh, Trowbridge. Good lord, completely caught in the corner, taking Howells out. Oh, that is not good to see. They're back on their respective positions. We're gonna drop it quickly with Christopher. Who's getting real close. Wow.
And the commentator's curse strikes again.
Yeah, I don't know. We have it, man. It's in our blood.
Is there anybody? Is there anyone left who you haven't talked about, guys? Because we gotta mention him because we gotta make it more even for the guys.
We need to have you here more, Mr. Tadoy. I love it. I love having you here.
Now you're blaming me for the
I needed to take the charge off. I'm just joking, mate. Look at how fast Christopher is through this right-hander. Pocock really seems to be struggling on those tires right now. We saw him push for the last 35 minutes. And now it's hammer time for Mr. Christopher Worth, British man, going at it. Let's see who's going to come out the victor. Pocock still with the fastest lap on track. Tennant getting real close now to Benchaya. Benchaya has made a little bit of a mistake. Is it the opportunity for Mr. Jamaica? It doesn't look like he's going to have enough speed as we head into the long right-hander. Let's see. That's a wider line from Mr. Benchaya. Maybe now is the time for Tennant to attack. No, he won't be able to do so. So he's going to have to keep it patient. Let's check the chat a little bit. Let's see. We have here reparations, no place penalties, lose point, and then 50% of the points given to the person you hit. It will be a double whammy. Damn. Dear love. Dear love has hit the wall. I'm very even with several of the Group 1 races, and I always have them around me, so I absolutely don't want to mess them up. I think communication and being social would be very helpful for everyone improving, because at the end, even though you're competitors on track, you're all a family, so everyone is willing to help each other out, so at the end, everyone's level is getting higher, and of course, if you make a mistake, man up, say sorry, accept that you made a mistake, and move forward. So I think next season is going to be fantastic. But right now, next season is too far away. Tennant right now with a very good slipstream. Is he going to try to make the move finally on Benchaya? Side-by-side action in just a few moments. Tennant is going to break a little early. He's going to look for the inside line. He had to slow down a little more. Let's see. He's not going to have enough speed to make it. Or maybe he is. So he had to slow down. He didn't want to go for the outside. So he's going to keep it safe. Good Lord. We got to go now with Christopher and Pocock going very close to each other again. Wow. So many action throughout the whole track. I need to move now with Mr. LaFrance already P8. And it looks like he might have a Tennant on his sights. Will he be able to make the move? This man has been flying since the beginning. We need to move back into the fight for the lead because these two are getting real close. Let's see if Christopher can finally make it happen. Peter LaFrance and Frank. Well, now that we're talking about drivers, I want to know, gentlemen, who is the driver of the day for you? It's a little off the track from Mr. Christopher. Who is your driver of the day?
Dude, the battle at the front, it's like yesterday. The battle at the front is yet to be resolved. So, and I think that is going to be what defines who gets the driver of the day. But, I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm neither of these two guys yet. I would say Frank Tennant, just for coming from last on the grid to P7. But then again, both of these guys have been super clean. Both the marks. They've been way clean. They've been, split by a hair, basically, the entire race. It's like watching Chris Bourne and Carlo Vanderbrandt, super clean races for the whole race, and fantastic stuff.
Yeah. Well, who do you think is the driver of the day, Mr. Tadoy?
I am.
You are? You're the commentator of the day. That's for sure.
Nah,
Mister, you've been doing fantastically well, for real. We want to have you back here, huh? I love the way you argue things.
I'm looking, guys. I'm going over the list with the guys, and who's the driver of the day. We still have 10 minutes, guys. It's too early to say yet.
Okay.
I say Georgios Thanos
Yeah.
is the driver of the day. This is one of Nico's neighbors.
Yeah, I have to agree.
So actually, let's backtrack a second here. So let's talk more about that issue. So from what I understand, a lot of other leagues, they do require that all of their drivers during races that they are in Discord. And I'm not actually suggesting that we do that, but I suggest that those drivers who have accidents, that they should be in Discord together for at least a few races to build that trust and build that respect.
I completely agree with that.
Yes, I also think that's a good idea.
It's not asking a lot. It's not asking a lot from anyone, and it doesn't take anything away from anyone, and there's no accusations. But we just want people to get along and respect one another's space. And if you're in Discord, you're much more likely to.
Yes, I'm gonna take myself as an example there. In Silverstone, I took out Mr. Skelton with a bad return on the track. I took him completely out, and I wrecked his race. And it would have been nice if we could have spoken about it, because I did something bad, and he got a bad result of it. Because I did that, I took myself out of the race. Is that an option? I don't think so, but I gave myself the black flag and I parked the car.
Well, that's one way of seeing it. But as you said, I think communication could help a lot. Well, Jonathan, that's the way to go. I'm up for that. I'm up for that as well. We'll see what the administrators choose to do. But for now, we need to stick with this fight, because now is Christopher pushing a lot. He's looking for the right moment to make the move. You can see he's looking for all the exits. Ooh, a little bit of a slide there. Let's see if Christopher can make it happen, because he only has 8 minutes remaining. Approximately 5 laps. Post-race conference for all. I would love to see that and to stream that here in the channel. That would be fantastic,
so an interesting thing, Juan and Luke, here is that if Terry Trowbridge is given a 5-place penalty for punting off Peter LaFrance at the first lap, it would actually put him behind him in P9, which actually would be pretty fair.
Yeah.
That would be a fair one. Yes.
Indeed. Man, you're on fire today. Yeah, I love it, baby. Yeah. I need to go back to the lead.
So Mark just went off at the first corner. The last corner, rather. So they're coming down to the first corner. Oh, no, it's sunset. It's on the back of the circuit.
I'm rather new in Sim Racing Discord, so what means coming to Discord with others? Just connect to the voice channels that there are. We're getting real close here, gentlemen. 7 minutes remaining. Now Christopher is putting the maximum pace he has on that car. He saved the tires for the last 40 minutes. Is it gonna be enough? Because it's really getting close. Pocock has made another mistake on turn 3. Let's see if he's gonna repeat it or not. But for now, what a beautiful fight here on the front. On the lead, we're gonna go inside Mr. Christopher's car to see how he takes this last sector. I don't think Mark wants to win. Weird. He has multiple chances. To be honest, I think his strategy was good. You can see he's always looking for the exits. He's keeping it safe. He knows, or he might think that he has the move done if he saves it for a couple more laps. Here we go. That's a very good exit from Mr. Christopher. Pocock still ahead. Let's see. Who do you think is going to get it?
Well, as Stefan says, I don't think Mark wants to win. It's weird. He's had multiple chances. No, of course he wants to win. He just wants to make it as clean as possible. He doesn't want to take any chances. He's waiting for Mark to make an error, and he's made a few, but he's not been able to fully take advantage of that. But he just doesn't want an accident. He wants this to be completely fair with no BS. When we finish the race, and no BS in the forums.
Yes, he wants a clean race. And it doesn't matter if he's second or first. He wants just a clean race. He doesn't want to punt him off. And, yeah.
I agree. I have to agree with that. But Look at how
And
close getting.
to be honest, I would be so annoyed with having someone driving behind me like for how many laps now?
It has been
All of
15
them.
laps. Yeah,
All
all
of
of them.
them.
Because that's a lot of pressure on you. And Mark
It is.
Mr. Pokak is doing a very good job keeping him behind.
He's being very defensive now. You see that?
Oi,
into
look at that line, huh?
The hairpin. He took the very inside line, which is going to compromise his exit. Going down the hill here, going down into this left-hander, this flat-out left-hander. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when he comes down to the braking zone, to see what kind of line that Mark Christopher takes. He's taken the outside line. He's going to want to get a better exit, but no, Mark has got a really good exit again there.
That was
Yeah,
very
Mr.
good.
Christopher used his brakes a little bit earlier, I think, because he was afraid to hit him.
Ooh, that was very aggressive from Christopher. Thankfully, was able to save it. Ooh, that is a very slow exit from Pokak. But at the end, it's going to look like a good exit. It looked slow on the entry. He managed to make it very good on the exit. Still, the fight is going on just behind them. Terry Trowbridge is still going on with Howells. We saw them come into contact. Mr. Trowbridge involved in 2 incidents already, both with Peter LaFrance, who's fighting with Paul Moore right now for P8, and with the man in P3, who's Steve Howells. So let's see how this is going to end. 4 minutes remaining. That is a very good exit from Mr. Christopher. Again, Christopher has the advantage on these first 2 sectors. It's the last one where he's not being able to just close that tiny gap to get that little bit of more slipstream that is going to help him put him through and finally claim the lead that he lost, because we know this man started on pole. Here we go again. Very good entry from Mr. Christopher. Now he's getting real close. Look at the slipstream, ladies and gentlemen. Is he going to try the outside line, or is he going to go for a little bit of a switcheroo? We'll see in just a few seconds. Look at that. Braking very late. He's going to try to take the inside. Pokak with a very good exit, but maybe now is he going to commit to it? He seems to have slowed down a little bit. He doesn't want too much trouble. He's keeping it super safe.
He got on the curb a little bit there on the exit
as
of
well.
of the hairpin, yeah.
Indeed.
But you know, if I had $20 right now to put on the table to bet who's going to win, I'd still put my money on Mark Christopher.
Okay, that is interesting to hear, because you can see he's really having the pace, but Pokak is defending incredibly well. The Doig, who's taking it? You still think is it going to be Christopher, or is it going to be Pokak?
I'm putting my my British euros on Mr. Pokak.
Okay, very good.
There's no such thing as a British euro. That's the problem, right?
Well, the good thing is I don't have any money, so I'm not putting anything. But I think I think it's gonna be Pokak being able to defend it for the last 2 laps, because that's what we have remaining. 2 more rounds. Let's see. That is a slow exit from Christopher. Is gonna drop down a little bit. We're going to move now with Terry Trowbridge again. Let's see. Once Christopher and Pokak come closer. Yeah, I think he's not forcing anymore.
I think he's settled, mate. Yeah.
And Mr. Trowbridge, as you can see, we're comparing the lap times between these 2 gentlemen. Same pace. Howells is 22 seconds behind Mark Christopher. Here you have Mr. Christopher, a second behind. Is he going to try on the last lap? We'll see. Or is he just going to keep it safe and stay on P2, which is still a very good result for Mr. Christopher. Let's see. We're going to stick with these 2 gentlemen until the end. Mr. Christopher's going to head into that really slow and tricky right-hander. That looks very good from him. Pokak very aggressive as well. He lost a little bit of time there. And here we go. Pokak very slow through there. Again, is Christopher catching up? Let's see if he can finally get that exit that he needs. That looks good from both of the gentlemen. Christopher is going to go a little off the track. It's not going to help him too much. He has closed the gap by 0.2 of a second. And here we go. It's going to be the last lap of the race, gentlemen. Who is going to take it? Who's going to take that cake? For now, it looks like Christopher really going aggressive on that braking zone. You can see now he's going to try his best to make it happen. Here we go now, turn 3. We've seen Pokak making more than 1 mistake through here. He's going to keep it safe, keep it clean. He's going to lose just a 10th. but it's worth it because, of course, he doesn't want to go off track and then lose it all on the last lap. Here we go now, second sector, Pocock defending well, still a second of a gap between these two gentlemen. This is where Mr. Christopher gets the time back. Look at how close they are now. Is Pocock gonna succumb to the pressure? Let's see. We go through this really tricky section, the left and the right. That is a lot of speed from Mr. Mark Christopher. Is he gonna commit to it now? He has a chance. Let's see, is he gonna send it? He's gonna brake later for sure. Ooh, he slowed down a little too much. That's too much curb. Mr. Christopher but still has a good exit. I think he's gonna try to go for the last chance because this is the only chance he has unless Pocock makes a mistake. Let's see, Christopher. Is he gonna brake late? The white flag is out. He's gonna try to get the better exit possible. That looks very good. Pocock's exit is good as well. I don't think he's gonna be able to make it happen. Pocock going through the last few corners. He will be able to defend it. Let's see. Last corner. Here we go. That is a very good corner from Mr. Christopher, but it's not going to be enough. And Mark Pocock is going to take the victory. What an incredible defense for the last 10 laps of the race. He's going to claim that W. Mark Christopher behind with a very good result as well on P2. And then the man on P3, very good performance as well. That is Steve Howells, who's going to conquer P3 unless he makes a mistake here. He's not. And that is it. P3 for Howells. P4 for Trowich. He has been in a little bit of trouble throughout the whole race. We still have a fight here. Tenan, Menchaya going side by side. A lot of contact again. Oh, yeah. What is Menchaya doing? That is a disconnection, I think.
No, come on.
If
Michelle, no.
If that was on purpose, I don't know what to say. Look at what is he doing? What in the blue hell is happening here? Michelle's gonna drop to the back, and everyone here a big pat up aside. That is gonna be Peter LaFrance getting one position at the end. What was that from Michelle Benchaya? For a moment, it looked like he had a disconnection, but then what happened after doesn't make any sense. Oh my good lord.
Yeah, you know what that was? That was pure karma, basically. What we just saw from Mr. Benchaya, that wasn't cool. And I think Paul Moore, he saw it happen and he was like, okay, yeah, I can play too. And he made sure that that Frank got that place back. So good job all.
Wow.
And great work, Mark Pocock. Brilliant race. What a great win.
Well, gentlemen, I think this is a very weird way to finish it off. But, gentlemen, it has been a pleasure to be here with all of you. Thank you very much, Mr. Dodoik. Thank you very much, Mr. Wood. This is going to be it for tonight. Have a lovely night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow on the Group 1. See